Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки.
I wish you health, fellow Ukrainians. Today we have published the first list of individuals who have been stripped of Ukraine's state awards and honorary titles. All of them chose to support the criminal war against Ukraine and thus lost their dignity. I do not even want to mention their names, and they will never be here in Ukraine again, so we will eliminate all their ties to Ukraine. The Security Service of Ukraine is preparing new proposals for such sanctions. Second, today more details about the new missiles that Russia used to hit the Dnipro have been established, and we will provide all the details to journalists, international media. The world must know the truth and realize that the only party that does not want peace is Russia. That is why Russia needs escalations. I am grateful to all partners who have already responded to this latest episode of Russian madness, but beyond words, action is needed. And in particular, on my instructions, the Minister of Defense of Ukraine is already holding meetings with our partners on new air defense systems, the kind of systems that can protect lives from new risks. When someone starts using other countries not just for terror but also to test their new missiles through terror, this is undoubtedly an international crime. And coming from Russia, this is a mockery of the position of states like China, the states of the global South, some leaders who consistently call for restraint, but in response invariably get some new escalation from Moscow. That is why the world must sound serious in response, to make Putin really afraid of expanding the war and feel the real consequences of his actions. True peace is achieved through strength, not otherwise. Third, as for our response here in Ukraine to these Russian strikes to various information about threats, today is already the 1003rd day of this war. All the security protocols are the same now as before. If you hear an air raid alert, you have to react. Take care of yourself and go to the shelter. Whatever the Russian missile threat is, it cannot be ignored. But when there is no air raid alert, state productions, embassies all must work in the same way and take information including from the intelligence services as information, not as permission to take a day off. This applies to everyone from the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine and other structures and branches of government to regional and municipal authorities. When the siren sounds, we go to the shelter, and when there is no siren, we work and serve. In wartime, there is no other way. We must be aware that Comrade Putin will continue to intimidate us. He has built all his power on this. It is important to know how to respond correctly and do everything possible to bring this war back home to Russia and to make them feel what war is. And one more thing, I want to thank our combat brigades who performed effectively this week. The 38th Separate Marine Brigade, the 39th Separate Anti-Aircraft Missile Regiment, the 68th Separate Jaeger Brigade, the 102nd, 108th, 124th, 126th Separate Territorial Defense Brigades, the 128th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade and 425th Separate Assault Battalion. Thank you, warriors, and special thanks to all the units in the areas of the Kursk operation, all those who are truly resilient. Glory to Ukraine.